I was thinking about this earlier, and essentially, I was asking myself after an episode of Monday Night Raw, what is professional wrestling missing? I mean, we're getting these great matches. I mean, the wrestling, if it's not as good, it's better than it's ever been. I mean, no, if you need to look anywhere, look at the main event of Monday Night Raw last night. The wrestling is on par, if above par than where it's ever been. But what is wrestling missing? Wrestling is missing nothing. Sports entertainment, however, is missing an air of unpredictability. Monday Night Raw used to be can't-miss destination television. Right now it's not. Like you said, you told me earlier, you can basically sum up Monday Night Raw in about 2 or 3 minutes. I could say, okay, I didn't miss anything. Kane and Rollins teamed up against Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. I saw that 4 times this month. All right, bye. When Brock Lesnar comes on Monday Night Raw and destroys a $55,000 Cadillac with an axe and suplexes Joey Mercury into the windshield and throws a car door at a fan, I missed that? Crap. I missed that. Oh, I gotta sign up for the network and I gotta watch that back on the network. I missed that. Oh, I gotta go watch Monday Night Raw next week. I can't miss Lesnar again. So it's things like that. But what I was talking to you about earlier is the main ingredient, in my opinion, to what made the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era and even early PG era, I mean, not early PG, like late 2008, 2006, 2007, around then. What made that so must-see was that the backstage environment, to me, felt like it was the Wild West, in that anything could happen. At a moment's notice, someone can get super kicked. At a moment's notice, you could see someone going at it. A moment's notice, you could see, some hijinks going on, like the APA sitting around a table, smoking, drinking beers. A brawl breaks out. You get the crash. A moment's notice, you see Crash Holly getting pinned for the Hardcore Championship in a 24-hour challenge.
24/7, yeah.
Yeah, so it felt like the Wild West, whereas anything can happen. If you look at the product now, it's so formulaic. The only time a camera is backstage is if Renee Young is holding a microphone, is if we're in Triple H's office and we're Seth Rollins and we're talking about what the main event's going to be. Oh, you're going to be facing Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose in a tag team match. All right, thanks, boss. I'm going to go to the ring now. Walk, walk, walk. Closed door. And that's essentially the backstage environment. But I mean, if you essentially translate that transition into where, like, oh my gosh, like anything could happen backstage, like that just adds so much to the product, along with having these phenomenal 5-star matches that they're putting on. So that means the in-ring action is can't miss, and when we're not in the ring, that is also can't miss. And what they did with Brock Lesnar last night is a perfect example of that. I mean, sure, people expected, when they introduced that Cadillac last week, everyone knew that wasn't leaving Raw alive. And when it did, it was like everyone was kind of confused. But when they brought it back this week, everyone knew that Cadillac is getting destroyed. No problem. Because vehicles don't last long in the WWE. And when he did that, it was just, it was in the fashion that he did it. I mean, he could have just started, punching the car and, kicking the car, whatever. He grabs an axe, starts two axes, starts chopping at it, breaks the car door with his bare hands, heaves it at least, 30, 40 feet into the crowd. I mean, expects that he chases Seth Rollins out of the arena, goes back, stands on top of the hood, and you got a great visual right there. We need more stuff like that. The unpredictability, the wild, wild west feel. No one knows what's going to happen backstage. No one knows what's going to happen at the entrance ramp when Brock Lesnar's there. Sure, the matches are great, but when the only time we're backstage is with Renee Young or someone's walking to their match down a hallway with not looking at the camera, or when Adam Rose is kissing Rosa Mendez, but it's really random and doesn't mean anything. It's just like, oh, we're backstage, we're not watching a wrestling match? All right, let me go get something to eat. Let me go to the bathroom, because this isn't necessary. They're just going to set up a match that I'll watch later. I don't need to see this. I don't have to see this. I can miss this. So that's my 2 cents on the state of sports entertainment. Not professional wrestling, but the state of sports entertainment.
I can flip through the channels and I'm not going to miss anything. It's okay. If I go look for another channel, I can come back. I won't miss anything. It's okay. But I feel like the last time we got something like that, you may not remember this. It was an episode of Raw about 6 years ago, 2008, or 7 years ago. It's 2015. like I said, you may not remember this. It's up on YouTube, but Batista's backstage and he's getting ready for his Fatal 4-Way match, and the fan runs right up. And to this day, I don't know if that's real or not.
I heard it's not a work.
I heard it was a work, and I heard it was. I heard it was, and then it wasn't. So
I mean, go for it.
The fact we're debating this right now goes to show, and this is 7 years after the fact. I'm not saying every week you have to have, Dean Ambrose walking in the ring and then some lady shows up in the camera and flashes her tits. Like, was that a work or not? You don't need that to happen. I'm not saying you need to blur the lines between reality and storyline, but a pipe bomb thing, something like that. A work shoot, the angle that you were writing out last night for Summer of Punk, which I thought was brilliant, with Punk, coming out of SummerSlam, in our version of Summer of Punk, when it would be Cena and Del Rio fighting for the belt. Punk left the WWE, and then out comes CM Punk in the crowd. He gets taken away by the police, whatever, and he's wearing the hood, whatever, and you know what I mean. The crowd won't acknowledge him. It's like, oh, it's that guy. They won't say him by name. Stuff like that needs to feel like it's more real, because right now, it's very formulaic authority promo. I know last night we had Heyman talking to kick off the show, but it's just very cookie cutter. Oh, authority promo, big show match, gonna go 3 minutes, Like last night was a step in the right direction with a 30-minute main event. Last time that's happened, Shawn Michaels, John Cena in 2007. It's something special. You don't want to miss it. It gave you a feeling like, wow, is Cesaro going to win here? Is he going to win the belt? It's not like, oh, Cena's going to win clean. I didn't know that for sure. That one spot where he hit the neutralizer, I'm like, oh shit, he might actually win. Yeah, like, oh, man, stuff like that. We need more of that in the matches, which are already good, but we need more of that in the matches, backstage segments, promo, stuff like that, so it doesn't feel like the same thing, like we're seeing the same thing every week.
Promo, setup main event. Filler, Cena U.S. Open Challenge, filler, main event.
Exactly.
That's what we get.
I feel like the only pivotal times to watch on Raw are the hour marks. 9 o'clock, oh, it's going to be Brock Lesnar. 10 o'clock, oh, here comes the U.S. Open, stuff like that.
11 o'clock main event angle that you go home with.
Exactly. Stuff like that. You shouldn't make the viewer feel like they're only watching something special at the hour mark. It may not be smart, like, oh, why are they doing this at 10:30? But it shouldn't be like that. That shouldn't be the notion going forward. It should be like, oh, anything can happen at any point.
At 9:37, a bomb could go off.
Exactly.
And you should be able to, if that happens, like, oh my gosh, like, whoa. You're absolutely right.
The Raw that we were at, the Punk, Miz, that whole thing, I believe it happened around 10 o'clock. But
that Jericho came out at 10 o'clock. But
it did.
But we got swerved as hell. We were swerved to death. We thought, oh, Miz is back. Cool.
Yeah, stuff like that, yeah.
But the Raw we were at, that's the perfect example.
Half an hour later, AJ Lee returns.
Yeah, why not? And then half an hour later, we got a great go-home visual of Triple H and
Roman Reigns
staring
still
down.
waiting on that match.
Seth Rollins almost cashing in. Dean Ambrose coming out thwarting him. Yeah, like that feels like the Wild Wild West. Not like, especially I hate these moments where it's like, you're in the ring, talking on the stick, going off about some match you're about to have later. Someone comes down and interrupts. Now these two guys are going at it. Oh, a third man comes down and interrupts. Now these three guys are talking. Oh, a fourth man comes down and interrupts. What's the Mac Militant? Hey, we're gonna have a tag team match. Oh, wow! I didn't see that coming. Huh? Like that? Like it's. I know it's been a while since we've had Teddy Long grace our TV screens, but
we need Teddy Long back.
Just it's so. WWE fans, marks, hardcore fans, babyface fans, we all thrive on the unpredictability of things. I mean, we all like to have our belief suspended and then some. All right, so we all like to watch a good match where we go like, oh, I mean, where you're totally ingrained, where you're totally in tune to what's going on, that you forget it's all a work. That's the type of wrestling that you like to see, and when they're doing all this formulaic bullcrap, it doesn't help. It really doesn't.